morning. It is Saturday, April 21st. It's about 11:20 in the morning. This is probably going to be my last check-in before vacation, before my family and I take a week off. Today is my husband's last day of work, and then he has a week off. My daughter's last day of school was yesterday, and then her week off. I'm probably not going to be checking in again until, gosh, maybe the 30th or after Monday the 30th, or at some point after that, as far as I know, as far as I have planned anyway. We are traveling at the latter part of the week to the small scrapbook convention that's going to be happening in our state. I'm sure that I'll have lots of pictures and stuff to share with you guys when we come home. If you follow me on Instagram at all, I'll probably be posting a lot of photographs and stuff up there for your consideration. So yeah, I just wanted to check in and wish you guys well. I have some cards that I wanted to show off. I'm kind of in mega organized, clean, finish stuff up mode. I had a huge pile of projects that I had to complete, and that I wanted to give myself until Wednesday to complete, and I've made quite a bit of headway on that, so I wanted to show you my progress that I've got on that. I'm also busy this weekend finishing up custom orders and restocking stuff for my Etsy store. So I'll be mostly focused on that, and then from tomorrow until Wednesday I can kind of casually work on a few other projects that I have going. So let me go ahead and I guess we'll just jump right into it, and I'll show you the cards that I have done so far. Now, in no particular order. These are all projects that I had started in weeks previous. Either I had stamped out and colored the images, or I had done something for the project, and I never actually just finished it. So my goal has been to finish this stuff so that I can get all of the supplies put away. Once this project is done, I kept the stuff out so that I could show you guys, but once I'm done filming this, I'll put everything away, and then the big cleaning begins, which I can do in between other projects. So this is one of the ones that I had been working on. Just some cards and stuff using from My Favorite Things stamp set. The Top Dog stamp set, and I had cut the acetate of the stamp sheet to get it to fit in my pocket. This is before I got the extra large envelopes. So the stamps are fine. I just cut the sheet to get it to fit. So this is the My Favorite Things Top Dog stamp set. It's an older set. I've used it a bunch of times, and actually I might be ready to destash this one. I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about it. I like it. I've just used it so much. I colored the images, which are cute, and then I was trying to pick my sentiments to go with it, and I'm bored with them, I guess you could say, because I've just used it so much. So this might end up in my destash. And then of course I have the coordinating dies to go with this one, and they're not the outline dies. What I do to cut my images now, because it's so hard to line them up without the outline, because it blacks the whole thing out, and I was running stuff through and it was just off center, and it looked terrible. So what I did was I die cut all of the images from just some plain white cardstock. And now when I use it as a stencil, kind of, when trying to line up and stamp something. So let's see, I think this is the one for this little doggy right here. So let's just say I had stamped this little doggy and I wanted to cut her out of the cardstock. I would place my stencil on top of her using the outlines of my stencil to line it up the way that I wanted. And then I would take the die and fit the die into the stencil until I felt it click into place. And then I knew, because the outline of my stencil was where I wanted it to be around the image, then I knew that my my die was actually in the right place over the image. So I actually used these, I saved them, as you can see, and reused them. So that is how I've been using my my dies that are like this. I'm not sure if there's an official term for these dies that black out the whole image or not, but it's really difficult. I don't believe My Favorite Things does this anymore, so that's good. But this is an older set, and I forget when it came out. I actually didn't even get it when it came out. I got it a bit after, when like it was on sale and I had a coupon or something, but I don't buy a ton of My Favorite Things. Anyway, Oh, the other product that I used with these cards for the background is I used this Darice folder that has just the paw prints on it. And then we've got some Nuvo drops that I've used. Midnight Blue, Carnation Pink, and Sugared Almond. Now all of these backgrounds, I did some masking and some ink blending with my ink oxide cubes. Here's the first card here. So here are the Nuvo drops, obviously my ink blended background, and then some grass. These are heat embossed. The sentiments are heat embossed. I used my VersaFine Black and just some clear embossing powder, and then I threw it all together on top of that paw embossed background right there. Just really cute. This is Birthday Wishes and Puppy Dog Kisses, Knowing You is a Treat. And then I'm not sure if you can pick up on it or not. I actually have, you can see it in real life, I have on top of the light green here, white heat embossed, I have a little heart, and then over here I have a dog bone. So it actually kind of makes a little bit of sense in person. The next card, kind of the same thing. Oh, and I use my Ranger ink to stamp these little hearts, and these are heat embossed clouds. So same thing, just different sentiment in different colors. Birthday Wishes and Puppy Dog Kisses, Woof You. I needed some birthday cards. So these are all birthday cards right here, and then Nuvo drops, of course. And lastly, from this set, Birthday Wishes and Puppy Dog Kisses, May Your Day Be Filled with Lots of Treats. So I had a lot of fun doing these. I like the color palette, and I love my ink oxide ink. That's kind of a theme you'll notice with a lot of these cards, is that I was looking for any excuse to kind of whip out the inks and do some color blending. I have a lot of fun with those. Okay, so I guess those are done, and I've got a free basket now. So yay, let's move on. Again, in no particular order. The next one is cards. Oh, and I used some Distress Oxide ink on this one and some Lawn Fawn glue. The stamp set I used for this one is the Whimsy Stamps Barnyard Band. And I got a couple of cards that I needed out of this set. This is a really cute set. I love Whimsy Stamps. Some of their new stuff that they've been coming out with has just been knocking it out of the park. So I always look forward to getting my emails. And they do have their own kit now. I think it's called Paper Door, which is definitely worth looking into. It looked like it was a really nice kit and a good value. I just haven't gotten around to actually investing in one yet. But anyway, so that is the stamp set that I used. A couple of cards. I used my own sentiment that I printed on the Cricut on this one. It's Congratulations, You Kick Brass. Kind of a pun that a friend suggested, and this card actually is going to be put in the mail on Monday. I have a friend who is in a running show, a running play, and they just got their first review in the paper, and it's very good. So this card is going to go out to her. I just kind of envisioned like a night scene in the background. I'm not sure how that came out or not, but I like the color. I like the two different blues together. So, and the next one I used a sentiment from the kit, the March to the Beat of Your Own Drum. Just this cute little farm scene. The background I colored with the Distress Oxide ink, and I think it's a My Favorite Things cloud stencil that I used just to kind of give the back a little bit of interest and the appearance of dimension. This is a farm scene that I actually cut and paper pieced from my Cricut that I thought looked really nice, and then of course the cow and the pig and the little baby chick from the stamp set, and they're all propped up on some foam for a little bit more dimension. I really like how this one turned out. I'm going to actually end up stocking a design similar to this in my Etsy shop. It's just so cute. So that is what we have from Whimsy Stamps. And next one, oh, this next one is easy. No stamp set. This is a digital stamp from Gerda Steiner. It's her stamp of the month for the card contest. So this is my entry to the card contest. I finally got around to coloring these little gnomes. And this card, I absolutely love this card. It is so cute, and I printed a sentiment on my Cricut, kind of a pun. There's nobody I love as much as you. cute, dorky, I know. This is obviously a digi-stamp from Gerda Steiner, which I printed and colored and fussy cut out. And I inked the edges just to kind of make it look a little bit more complete. And these others are just die cut pieces from a die set that actually... 2 different die sets, and they're from things that other people have given me, so I actually can't even tell you what they're from. So I think they're just random little scenery pieces, but so just a couple of trees and clouds. These are all paper pieced on here. I just thought that was really cute. Just a little gnome couple, just really cute. I like it. So I've actually got to take pictures of that and get that uploaded onto the site before I forget. Okay, hey, more stuff. This next card stuff is from a stamp set from Avery Elle. It's the Carousel set from Avery Elle. Very cute. I love, especially, of course I would, because it's me, I love the bunny rabbit, naturally. The really cute, small, scripty sentiments which fit into the banner. Very cute set. I got the matching dies for this, and I'm really glad that I did. I couldn't imagine trying to fussy cut. I have a hard time with straight lines trying to fussy cut this out. A really nice stamp set. I really had a good time with this, and let's see. So here's the first card that I did. I used, for my background paper, I used more, I wonder if I still have it accessible. I've been trying to dig more into my stash. This I got from Michaels, this paper pack called Stay Magical. It's from one of the end cap Craftsmith, the papers that they have in the end cap that are usually $19.99 but never pay that much because you can get them on sale for $5 or $6 at least once a month. So there's a lot of really nice papers in here, and I pulled a couple of papers out for this project, but that rainbow one I just fell in love with. It's so pretty. It reminded me of like candy. So that's the background, but I decided just by itself, the paper is a little flat. Probably too flat to just be the only thing that's holding out the background of a card, especially one as fun and whimsical as one of these carousels. So what I did, actually, I debated, well, not debated, but I was going through my stash and I found this large background stamp that I have from My Favorite Things in my stash. So I got out my Versamark and I used it to stamp and then clear heat emboss the background. So actually you can probably see it a little bit better on this card here, if you can see it at all. It just gives a little bit of clear shine and interest to that background, and especially with the stripes. You have the stamps from my stripe going up and down, and then of course the stripes from the actual rainbow paper going side to side. I think that they look really nice together, and it just gives it something a little bit more, I think, with the background, and it's enough to hold up the design without being too overpowering. So this is the purple horse, and I'm sure you can't see it in the video, but I've actually colored the white the white on the horse I covered with some shimmer pen from my Spectre Noir shimmer pen, just to give a little bit of sparkle. This purple heart is actually propped up with some foam, which is actually a leftover from another project, which I think I'm showing you things out of order. So the other project is coming. So this heart was a leftover from another product, and I propped up the sentiment, which on this one is congratulations, on some foam as well. And then of course finished off with a couple of Nuvo drops. So here's this one with the horse, the carousel horse. This one doesn't have any foam, and I used this star background is another paper from that same paper pack, which I thought was nice. And the sentiment is enjoy your day. Very cute. And then here's another one with foam that was left over from another project. It's the bunny rabbit. Make-A-Wish. I might save this one for my daughter's birthday. And it's Saturday, so she's home. So I'm going to quickly show you guys this, and I'm going to slip it to the back of the pile just in case she comes out. She's in her room playing right now, but you never know. So shh, that'll be our little secret. That might be for my daughter. Anyway, so those are the stamp sets that I used. The Avery Elle Carousel, highly recommend. And then of course this background stamp from My Favorite Things, which I guess now that I remember that it's here, I'm going to have to use it some more, because that was I truly believe that that was the perfect thing to kind of bring just a little bit more to some plain scrapbook paper that I wanted to use as a background. It was just the perfect touch. So I might even, I don't have many background stamps. I have a couple for Whimsy Stamps. I have one from Hero Arts coming that I just won at like an auction on eBay for like $2 or whatever the other day. I can't stay away from shopping, guys, especially if it's a good deal. So I don't have many, so I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for some more background stamp options, especially ones that are very plain. I'm not a huge floral person. I like the occasional floral. I think that a big florally background might be a bit too much for me, but this one with the stripes is quite nice. I'm quite pleased with the way that turned out. I hope you like it too. Okay. Moving on. I told you I've been busy. And these are all projects that have just been like sitting here half done or partially done, and I finally just committing to get it done. And then I have other projects that I need to do before Wednesday, which is my cutoff because Thursday is laundry and packing. So I really have been pushing myself to get this stuff done. Oh, okay, so the next one I have, speaking of Hero Arts, I used the Hero Arts Love Bandit set, the raccoons, and I have the matching dies for this. This was an add-on from the January bi-monthly Hero Kit, which was the Valentine's themed one. And I really wanted to use this one because I love raccoons. I think raccoons are my my Patronus, my spirit animal, if you will. But it's not obviously the right time of the year for Valentine's. So fortunately, there's plenty of other sentiments that you can use for Valentine's. And here's where the foam leftovers came from that I used in my Avery Arts cards. I die cut them from the foam layers on these cards. I just wanted to prop this up a little bit, so I thought a little bit of foam would have been nice. And I used my Doris one-sided adhesive craft pages to put the cardstock on, so when I die cut the heart out of it, I obviously had a nice die cut heart left over, and it wasn't until I did these ones first, obviously, and it wasn't until like the next day or hours later I was like, oh, those colors would look really nice on that rainbow. I'm just gonna see, you know, and they work perfectly. So use up everything. Anyway, so back to Hero Arts. This one I've just very simply, behind this is a more ink, Distress Oxide ink blending that I did, just a quick sky and some grass background. It's my partner in crime, You Always Have My Heart, and then of course some Nouveau drops. I love these sweet little raccoons, they're so cute. And then I did another one in the green, which you guys saw the green heart that I used on the Avery Elle set, and this one is You Thief, You Stole My Heart. Kind of the same thing, just very cute. Oh, yeah, and I very rarely do anything on the inside, but I did stamp with a coordinating color on the inside of these cards, just a couple of hearts. With my dye ink, the Wild Orchid and the Emerald Isle are the ones that I used for that. My Midnight Sky glitter drops is what I used for the Nouveau. Now, this particular bottle of Nouveau drops is a couple of months old, and it's not coming out as smoothly as it used to be. And I don't know if it's just because they're the glitter drops. I don't have many glitter drops. I think I only maybe have 2 bottles of the glitter drops. So let me know if you guys have experienced anything with your glitter drops not coming out as smoothly as they used to after a couple of months. I'm curious, really curious. And then the oxide ink that I used for the backgrounds, Mermaid Lagoon and Lucky Clover. My goodness, guys, I have so much stuff to put away. And that is the Hero Arts Love Bandit set. Adorable! Love it. Oh my goodness, look at all this stuff that I have to put away. Okay. Next, oh, another oldie but goodie. Let me get this basket out of the way. The Sunny Studio That Sucks stamp set cracks me up. The vacuum cleaner puns, and of course I have the little die. Oop, there's one of them sliding off the paper here. The little dies to go with it. Very cute. Definitely worth it if you can find this one. It's hard to find. It's a lot of fun. This one, a very simple card that I did on some craft cardstock, and I put a white panel on the inside. Just very simple ink blending. I used Tattered Rose, and then cover's falling off. Antique Linen for the floor. Just some very simple ink blending. And here's my little vacuum cleaner with a little frowny face and the sentiment, "I'm sorry that sucks." And just for a little bit of dimension, I used a couple drops of glossy accents. I am trying to use up my glossy accents. I want to try that new, the Nuvo glaze stuff, so I'm forcing myself to use up my glossy accents before I do that. So you'll see I've used a lot of glossy accents. So just really simple, a cute little card. I liked it. Moving on. Oh yes, this one was a lot of fun. I had the, I don't know if you guys remember from, I think it was from Simon Says Stamp, like the last order that I did with them. I only do a Simon Says Stamp order maybe 2 or 3 times a year because they really, I never find anything on sale there. Everything is always, you know, at retail price or slightly above. Their shipping charges are a bit high. Like I never get free shipping. So if I'm putting together an order for Simon Says Stamp, it's because I can't find this stuff anywhere else usually. And ironically, I'm building a Simon Says Stamp order now that I will probably go ahead and just do sometime in May. So it's not, you know, obviously stuff that I need right away, but I'll just tell you guys, I'm having the hardest darn time finding, the Beadsmith Magical Square Tray that you've seen Jennifer McGuire use, and of course they sold out everywhere. So I'm having a hard time finding a place that sells that for a reasonable price, and oddly Simon Says Stamp is like the cheapest place that I can find it. So that's one of the things that I have in my cart. I'm having a really hard time from the Pink and Main latest release. I really want the Pocket Full of Love set. And I can't find anybody that I normally shop from that carries it. So I found it at Simon Says Stamp. So that's one of the things I have in my cart over there. Anyway, so every time I do have to shop on Simon Says Stamp, I'll look for sale stuff or clearance stuff or whatever, because I figured you're there, you might as well do it. And the last time I did was this Spellbinders set. And Spellbinders dies are just lovely. They're really nice to use. Just a very simple ensemble set. It's just an unmounted red rubber stamp and a couple of dies called Perfectly Radishing, which I thought was such a perfect little pun. And I've been kind of saving it for spring projects, so here it is. And it's a very nice stamp, stamped beautifully. Was really impressed. And I saved this just for some design concept ideas, and I slipped that in the back here. So really nice, and I think it was only on clearance for like $2 or $3, this whole thing. So anyway, so I finally got around to using it because it's spring, so I made 2 different So Perfectly Radishing cards. This background paper is from that Cartabella Farmer or Country Kitchen set that I recently got. And let's see, I dry embossed some plain cardstock. I heat embossed the sentiment using some of that fabulous Hero Art silver glitter that we got in the, not the last kit, but the kit before. In the March kit? In the March kit, I think. And then just a little banner, and I die cut some hearts, and of course there's glossy accents on the hearts. So I basically made 2 just slightly different styles. So those were a lot of fun. This is a really cute, I love punny, obviously. I love punny sets, and I love sort of garden-y sets and vegetables, and so obviously I had a pear one too, but that one was sold out by the time I got to it. This is like, we're nearing the end now, guys. These baskets represent all of the projects that I had just sitting here. This one is from Lawn Fawn, the Hang in There set. And I had, I actually already had a couple of these sloths already all colored, and you can see I still have one left. So I wanted to pull it together in a card, and this one is just a very simple belated birthday card. It says happy belated birthday, sorry I'm slow, and just this sweet little sloth hanging on a tree. And this background paper is a scrap left over from an Amuse Studio paper that I was using earlier. And I think you guys have already seen the project that I used with that paper, but this was just a little scrap, and I was like, it's perfect. It wasn't enough to cover the card, so I thought it's been a while since I've done a side-scrolling sentiment, I'd give that a try. So really cute. I love this little guy. I debated putting some shimmer pen or something on the clouds to give it a little bit of interest, but then I decided it doesn't really need it. This guy's too cute. He's just too cute on his own. So that is the Lawn Fawn Hang in There set. Last one has 2 cards in it. Woo! And a mess from me, because I'm a mess maker. 2 cards in it because the stamp sets are from Lawn Fawn and they're the small stamp sets and they share an envelope. So this one is using the Lawn Fawn, what do they call this one? Year 7, which is the adorable piñata set. So I just have a cute little piñata, and I used a brad, and this is all decorative. It doesn't really do anything, but a brad on a piece of baker's twine, and I put the piñata on a what are they called? I don't remember. The wobblers. I put the piñata on a wobbler so that it would wobble. And the string is just there for decoration, of course. And then here's some more of that Amuse Studio cloud paper in the background. And then, of course, it's just a candy explosion, all the candy everywhere. And then I have some just drops of Nouveau Drops for decoration, crushed grape, and red berry. So this one was a lot of fun. I'm trying to remember what did this brown paper come from? I don't remember. Oh my god, that's going to drive me up a wall. I think it came from one of the 6x6 paper pads that came from Blitzy, but I'm not entirely sure. I just thought it looked nice, and the kind of the taupe light brown matched the colors that I had used on the little donkey piñata. So that's how I pulled that one together. I love this one. And plus it gave me a chance to use a brad, right? Nobody ever uses a brad. Okay, last card is using the Lawn Fawn Turn Me On stamp set, which is an older one, and it had been kind of sitting here half done, waiting to be inspired, and I came up with this card. And I used for the light bulbs themselves, the outline of the light bulbs, I used some of my Wow glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. Lawn Fawn did recently come out with their own glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. However, I bought 2 of these last Halloween from Wow that I need to use up before I can try the Lawn Fawn one. So that's why I'm using this instead of the Lawn Fawn one. And I don't think you'll be able to see here. I'll post a picture on my Instagram, but I did test it and it does actually glow in the dark. At least the outline does. And I used actually one of the sentiments from the little Firefly stamp set that Lawn Fawn just came out that I don't happen to have in front of me. Has a couple, because that one's designed to work with the Lawn Fawn glow in the dark powder. It has a couple of sentiments that say I glow in the dark in different ways. So I borrowed one of those and just kind of heat embossed underneath my light switch here, I glow in the dark, to let the recipient know to look in the dark. And I've heat embossed with You Turn Me On. I did a lot of heat embossing with this one, actually. So I heat embossed with the glow in the dark, and then this sentiment and the little filaments from the filament stamp inside the set. I used that silver embossing powder from Hero Arts that I referenced a few minutes ago. Then we have the black. This is black embossing powder. I'm still trying to use up that Whispers black embossing, but I'm not thrilled with it, but it's one of those things I'm trying to use up before I can get another one. Anyway, so that one, and then for I have a little smiley face on the switch, and then for the little smiley face on top inside my light bulb, I use some of the Lawn Fawn Rose Gold embossing powder, which is gorgeous. I really need to make an effort to use this more. It's so gorgeous. Maybe some heavy background work with this or anything or something. So anyway, and then the last part that I did was I covered all the light bulbs with glossy accents just to give it some of that glassy shine, and I did test it and it does glow in the dark. I will put some pictures on my Instagram of this glowing. It's just too early in the day to try to get pictures of it now, but I had an absolute blast with this card. And that is everything that I had. This huge pile of cards are all things that I have been working on that I finally am done with. It's like, oh, such a huge weight just lifted off of my shoulder. And all of this stuff I'm going to need to put away, and all of these nice clean baskets all ready for when I come back from vacation and I pull the next batch of stuff out to get working on it. So a couple of the things that I still have left to do before Wednesday. I need to do a spring themed pocket letter for an exchange that I would like to get into the mail before we go away, because it's due like early the following week, and I think it would be better if I just take care of it. I'm working on another Happy Mail for a couple of friends actually, so there's a few other things that I want to do associated with that I won't talk about, because I know at least 2 of them are going to watch this video, so don't want to spoil anything. So I'll be working on some of that. And then the last thing that I kind of had in my little card making pile is I have this fabulous kit from Queen & Company, the Fruit Basket Shaker Card Kit. And I really, really wanted this, and it kept being out of stock on Blitsy, and they finally had it, and I snagged it, and I love it, and I have not had a chance to work on it at all. This is my first Queen & Company thing, but I love watching all of the different unboxing and tutorials and intro videos that people do on YouTube with the Queen & Company kits. Their shaker elements that they call toppings, I think, are just, they're so adorable and so detailed. Like, look at those little apple slices and pink grapefruit slices, or maybe those are lemons, I'm not sure. Just absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, so I just covet. I finally got my hands on this kit, which is the one that I really wanted. And I've got the stamps and the dies already all set up in their pocket envelope, but I hadn't had a chance to do it. So this is definitely, now that most of my other stuff is done, I'm definitely going to be working on this one at the convention that we are going to Friday and Saturday next week. Queen & Company is going to be one of the companies that's there. So I definitely want to make sure that I thoroughly utilize this kit and feel my way around it, and because it'll give me an idea for how much money I'll be blowing at their booth at the convention. But I love everything that I've seen. This has been my favorite one that I've seen, so I'm really excited to work on this one. And again, I've got my pocket letters and a couple of other little projects. And then my big clean, go through. And I've already started in some spots in my crafting area, but just go through and pull everything out and dust things and wash things and reorganize them, which I like to do every couple of weeks anyway. But really, really get in there and clean. I'll be cleaning out my Cricut and de-dusting my Cricut. I still need to get a cover for my Cricut, and I'm irritated that I keep forgetting to. And then one of the other big things, and I have to get up to grab it to show you, is that, guys, this is my scrap bin of all of my projects. So all of these papers are going to have to be taken out. The usable scrap pieces are going to have to be cut away and filed away into my scrap organizational thing, which is on the floor on my side here, so that I can grab it whenever I need just a bit of something. All of the other pieces, like, for example, this middle section here on this one, I will cut away and I'll save this as a usable scrap. But all of these other little, you know, internal pieces here, it's still usable paper, even if I can't use it as a scrap. So those will all be processed into confetti, which is a huge undertaking. And my husband helps me with this, and he's going to be on vacation next week. So I've been kind of saving this 400-pound bin of scrap papers for him. So yeah, processing confetti. Other than that, just this week we're going to be relaxing, doing laundry, hanging out, doing family stuff. And I think that's pretty much everything that I had to talk about today. I did set a date for my May D-stash. It's going to be May 2nd, so look for more D-stash stuff. I have a basket right up over here. It's slightly out of camera that I've been pulling stuff out all ready to D-stash. I do still have last month's D-stash stuff and a few other things that I popped on my eBay page already, but if you're interested in any of those, you might want to wait for my actual D-stash where the prices will be a bit cheaper because I won't have to pay my eBay fees. And if I have something listed on eBay, I'd be happy to unlist it for you guys to buy. But that's about it. Other than I hope that you guys have a really nice week and you take care. I might be able to do a video next week. Maybe not. Probably not. I'm not planning on it. I don't have anything planned except for my own stuff. I won't be... probably won't be sharing my pocket letters or anything else because I plan to put that in the mail before I do another video. So definitely keep an eye out on my Instagram page if you're curious to see what I come up with. I usually post my projects on there, including fruit basket stuff, yeah, so probably not till the 30th or after D-Stash May 2nd. You guys have a really great week. Thanks so much for your support, and thank you everyone who has been sending me messages. I absolutely love just chatting with people, so I think that's really great. I'm really happy to have made some friends. That's what I got. I'm going to clean up. It's almost noon now, and I'm going to make my kids some lunch. But you guys have a great week, and I will see you when I get back. Bye!